So the Sydney Autumn Racing Carnival's in full swing now, and it's going to heat up well and truly this weekend when we head to Rose Hill for the $5 million Golden Slipper. We're joined by special guest Glenn Munsey. Glenn, how are you?
Very good, thank you, Liam. Always exciting Golden Slipper time. I think the best day's racing in Sydney and my favourite race day of the year.
Are you heading out to the race on Saturday?
I'll be there pretty early. We'll get there for radio, Sky Sports Radio. We'll have our preview from 6:30 on Saturday morning, and we roll right through on Sky Thoroughbred Central from around about 10 o'clock. So it's a bit of a long session.
After a couple of tough years with COVID, it'll be good to have a big crowd, hopefully, at Rose Hill this year.
Yeah, starting to get the crowds back at the races. Golden Slipper Day. Now it's a different sort of atmosphere at the races. The officials try to make it an event where you've got on-course action with the horses, and then after the last they usually have a band or something like that on to make it a continued day for people to get there and put in their presence on track at Rose Hill Gardens.
Obviously, you've been in the industry for a while now. How exciting is Golden Slipper Day for you usually, and what's it mean to you?
Well, it's a culmination actually of looking at horses that stepped out on the track in September for the first 2-year-old trials, and here we are in, sometimes we used to run it in April. It's a bit of a change now. We're in March, but it seems a long way away, and you tend to have a look at some babies a long way back the first time you see them and say, I wonder if they'll make the slipper in a few months' time, and some of them actually have.
Onto the race itself, we've just had the barrier draw. Coolangatta, the favourite, it's drawn barrier 14. It'll probably jump, as you said, outside of barrier 11. How are you liking its chances?
Well, it's an interesting exercise for the Kieran Maher and David Eustace stable, because it'll be 63 days since it had its last run in the Magic Millions at the Gold Coast. Kieran has a property up towards Port Stephens way, and Coolangatta has spent a fair bit of time up there. It's had a couple of serious gallops at Newcastle over the last few weeks. James McDonald's actually gone up to ride it. Had a jump out last Friday at Newcastle. I interviewed James in Canberra on Monday, and I actually asked him, I said, did you notice any significant improvement? And he got a very, very large smile on his face. And he said, well, yes, she did. Marked improvement from only 7 days' time, but he was very, very impressed with the way that it went last Friday in the jump out.
On the second line of betting, as it stands, to Jardin, around that $6 mark for now. What are you thinking? It's a good chance. It's right in the race to challenge Coolangatta.
Yeah, I can't really see a lot of horses out of the market figuring in the slipper on Saturday. So Jardin, of course, trained by Gary Portelli, already a slipper winner with She Will Reign. Gary's got 2 horses in the race, and I don't think he bought all that many 2-year-olds. He's got Sir Jardin, and he's also got Fireburn. He's done everything right. Sir Jardin, like Coolangatta, it's hard to fault their form. And if you want to think back to the first day in October, they both won on the same day. One won the Breeders', one won the Gimcrack, and here they are, the top 2 picks in the slipper.
She's Extreme, another chance in the market. What do you think of its chances?
Very, very good chance, because we've got a rain-affected track at the moment. As of Wednesday morning, Rose Hill had 8.3 mils of rain since Sunday. Of course, we had that big wet in Sydney the previous week, but no rain at Rose Hill Thursday, Friday and Saturday leading into last Saturday's meeting, and then 8 mils of rain since then. And She's Extreme is on the quick backup, trying to do what Kiamichi did a few years ago. She's got through the heavy track all right at a couple of later runs, one at Randwick and one at Rose Hill. She's going to be strong at the finish, and I think that's a very, very big asset. And the fact that she is backing up, albeit they haven't got a fantastic record, as I said, Kiamichi did it, but they tend to run very, very good races, the horses on the backup. Significantly, they tend to run better on the backup on a wet track.
Couple of chances in the double figure odds. Best of Bordeaux, Rush and Conquest. Do you think they're featuring in the finish?
Well, one was I shouldn't say a big winner out of the draw. Best of Bordeaux, he came up with barrier 10. Well, he'll start from barrier 7. He probably looks the leader or outside the leader. Rush and Conquest, though, came up with 16. It'll start from 13. So probably it was one of the horses that missed out with the barrier draw. Jury's out with Rush and Conquest. Of course, it won at Newcastle and then was competitive. Had a little bit of time off, but they're a smart training operation at the Snowden Yard. They've done it with Sepoy. He was beaten in his lead-up. Capitalist was beaten in his lead-up. Grand final day is Golden Slipper Day. It's not 2 weeks before.
Dormier had a very good win last start in the Blue Diamond. Do you think it can back it up here?
Well, I know our boys in the office are giving the Blue Diamond form a little bit of a better chance than normal, for the simple reason being you've got Dormier, you've also got Jacquinot, and you've got Revolutionary Miss. Their reasoning being is we haven't really got a standout 2-year-old in Sydney, so those horses that have had the 1200 metre experience in the Blue Diamond, they think they've got a better chance. Personally, I don't entertain any Victorian 2-year-old that comes to Sydney having their first start at Rose Hill, because the Rose Hill 1200 metres is basically like a horseshoe. You go out and you come sharply back around, and the vast majority of them, in my opinion, just don't seem to handle it. They're
the main chances, obviously, in the race probably for Saturday, but are there anyone outside of that you think could run, potentially a place at big odds?
If you're looking at, some of them there, maybe a horse, like Charlatan. I know Ronnie Dufficy, our form expert at Sky Racing, has been on Charlatan's back since day one. Interesting to see his preparation. Now, he'd qualified for the slipper by running a place in the Golden Gift behind Sir Jardin. So Joe Pride had the bonus of not having to worry about winning a lead-up race or gaining some prize money. So his total focus has been Saturday, March 19, knowing Charlatan is already in the race, and he's got Nash Rawiller to ride him, and Nash, a very, very strong rider, already having won a Golden Slipper on Piero. He'll probably stand over Charlatan, and he's come up with barrier 5. Well, he'll start from barrier 3. Looks a beautiful draw from him. When we're looking at horses around that $26 mark, he definitely stands out on those horses around that line.
We've run through plenty of chances now, but can you give us a tip at this stage for the slipper?
I'm with Coolangatta. I've been with Coolangatta all the way through, and I think She's Extreme's the main danger.
Lovely. There's obviously plenty of other big races on Golden Slipper Day at Rose Hill. We're going to get another chance to look at Very Elegant in the Ramvet. We don't know what her future looks like here in Australia long term. Obviously pretty short odds, but it'll be exciting to see her run again.
Yeah, 4 other Group 1 races on Golden Slipper Day, the biggest day of Group 1 racing in Australia. You've got the Guineas, Animo, he'll probably go around there, the Rider, the Ranvet and the Galaxy, and then a support card of other races. So 10 big races on Golden Slipper Day, and let's hope you can find a winner, if not 2 or 3.